Guys, how we doing? And welcome into the stream. Hopefully you're having yourselves an excellent Wednesday. I know I am. Very excited that we finally are going to get back to some regular NBA basketball starting tomorrow. So we only have 2 games today now that the NBA Cup is finally over. But getting excited that we're going to get back to some more games and back to a more regular scheduled programming, more betting opportunities. So we have 2 NBA games tonight, some college basketball, looking maybe forward to ahead to some college football bowl games as we're in bowl season right now. And then obviously we have some college hoops as well. So we're going to jump into some DFS first, take a look at some arbitrage opportunities, then jump into positive EV, use the sharp money tool, a lot to get to. Some boost that we have going on, and let's get into it. So hopefully you guys yesterday tailed some of the NHL goal scorer plays that we gave out. I gave out a 3-pick slip yesterday on PrizePicks. That cashed. Gave out some NHL anytime goal scores, 2 of them yesterday. Alex DeBrincat and Nathan McKinnon, both of those cashed. So if you guys tailed some of the plays, let me know if you made some money, because I'd like to think you did with some of the plays that we gave out. Irish, Wilbo, what's going on? Evening, Wilbo. Arturo, afternoon to you. Good afternoon or evening, wherever you're tuning in from. Appreciate you hanging out with me. Always kind of want to start this off, guys, with if you are new to sports betting, or if you have some dough and you're trying to figure out where to put it in your books, okay? This deposit optimizer up here in OddsJam is created specifically to break down exactly where you should put your money into and what books. How much, right? If you have $500 and you live in Arizona like I do, you should go 1, 2, 3, FanDuel, DraftKings, Hard Rock. I get this question all the time. Hey, man, I got $1,000. Like, where should I put my money at? I got $5,000. I got $100. What book should I go and put attack, right? And so this is OddsJam looking at not only just the deposit opportunities, but just historically where the most opportunities are coming from their books, right? So if you're someone that has maybe $2,500, then you should go FanDuel, DraftKings, Hard Rock, Fanatics, Caesars, MGM, okay? And it's going to give you a little percentage breakdown of your bets and where this is going to go into. So definitely highly recommend, guys, checking out the deposit optimizer here on OddsJam, because it's going to literally just tell you where to put your money at in the sports books, depending on how much money you have available to use. Rick, what's going on? 49ers faithful. Best day ever for me yesterday. Glad to hear that, man. Glad to hear that. John, huge night last night. Yeah, it was a very good night. Also, for anyone that is in the chat that's in Dub Club, quite a few of yins are in Dub Club in the chat. We went 9-1 last night. Gave out 10 picks, went 9-1. It was the best win-loss night we've ever had in Dub Club. It was insane. We won 8.25 units yesterday in Dub Club. And while we had a tough start on Monday, an unreal day yesterday. And in the month of December, we're up 10 units, guys, for Dub Club. So it's not like insane, but it's profitable. And so I know that quite a few of yins that are in the chat right here are over at Dub Club. For any of you guys that are there, obviously I posted it last night. If you sign up for a 1-month or 3-month package, you'll receive a 3-day free trial. And so I would say for Dub Club, it's been a slower start, but it's picking up now. It's definitely been picking up, and it's been a lot better. And NBA is head and shoulders above and beyond our best sport that we've been doing with Dub Club. And it's been going really, really well, and it was awesome last night. We swept the board on every single NBA play. I do provide some ladder options for you guys, but I do give you my official pick. So yesterday was one of those where the ladder plays didn't hit, but the official pick did hit. And sometimes it's like that. The plays are already out for today. Again, smaller slate of games, so there's not as many picks tonight. Didn't really see any NHL anytime goal scores that I liked. We'll obviously check that out in the EV tool today. I know for some of you don't care, you just want to get into the picks, but I just want to let you know that we're cooking on Dub Club. It's going very well. So check that out in the links there. So right now, I'm looking for DFS options for Better, PrizePicks, Dabble, DraftKings Pick 6, Underdog, Better, all those. We're using Pinnacle worst case, player props only, 11 results. This play on KCP, under on his PRA, looks very good, pretty much anywhere. Better, Aldama over on his rebounds. This looks pretty good. This DiVincenzo play for a 3-pick slip is barely little to no edge since I'm playing this on a 3-pick. So I'm going to try to move quickly on underdog to grab these 3 plays. We're looking at the over on DiVincenzo. KCP, we're looking at the under on his PRA. Okay. And then I could do Landell over on points. It's fine. It's not great. On the sharp money tool, Santi under on his PRA. Somebody wants this at minus 117 odds for $1,900. All right. Really, it's quite good to bookmaker. It's not great. It's not good at all to Pinnacle. But I will be willing to go in on Aldama under on his PRA. Now I'm taking the under PRA and 2 different guys. They're still giving us a 6x payout, which is really nice. This is an underdog 3-pick slip, no insurance. That's how I normally like to rock my DFS slips. So I'll drop this in here. Yeah, Irish. So on this stream, appreciate you letting me know about that. On this stream, I'm only going to be able to use, I already used 2 of the discounts on Better. Shared one on X, guys. I tweeted that out. I already used the Donovan Mitchell and Jaren Jackson boost. So we still have discount, I should say. We have a discount on Josh Giddey on his PRA. So we're going to find something there on Better to hit this up. For this Aldama play, if you want, you can hit this on Better or Underdog, either one. It's pretty much whatever you prefer. Speaking of Santi, even though we have his under on his PRA, we're going to take his over on his rebounds here. And so we're going to take the over 6.5. Okay. This Dylan Larkin play has little to no edge for a 3-pick slip. It's very good if you wanted to rock a 5-pick slip. But I'm okay with going Dylan Larkin over on his shots on goal, over 2.5. Coming out tomorrow, guys, there will be a video on OddsJam's channel going through my exact NHL goal score process. I've made over $5,000 over 3 straight months. Over $5,000 for this NHL season. I've been profitable every single month since the NHL started this year, betting NHL anytime goal scores. If you want to know the exact strategy and setup, videos dropping tomorrow on OddsJam. Take a look, bookmark it, save it, create a filter, whatever the case is, or whatever software that you're using, set it up. I'm giving away my best strategy for hockey for free on OddsJam. There's a video dropping tomorrow. Check it out. I think it should be very helpful. It kind of goes through step by step on what I do bet and what I don't bet. All right, so we cooked this 3-pick slip up with the Giddey discount on Better. Jordan, it is not. It is not. So with Dub Club, great question. It's just really you get an update via your email. Let me know if some of you get a text. I know Chi-Town said he had a hard time receiving the text via Dub Club, but it hits your email. So as soon as I click post, it should hit your email. I don't have a Discord set up yet. That's a 2026 goal that I'm chewing on. Got a couple different goals set up for 2026. A Discord I'm going back and forth on between that or possibly originating and creating my own model and getting into modeling a little bit for player props. That's something that I've been also thinking about doing. So Discord is out there. The hardest part with the Discord, guys, the reason that I don't have one is that I don't have anyone else to manage it. It's just me that would be managing it. And so that's kind of the nice part with Dub Club is it's one less thing that I have to manage other than giving out my picks is they kind of take care of everything else. With the Discord, it would be me, myself, and I trying to manage that day in and day out. And that's the only difficult part is if something doesn't go on Discord. So not saying that things won't change down the road there. I might not add it. It's just I got to kind of figure that part out logistically. Yeah, Jordan, appreciate that. Appreciate that. So there's a 3-pick slip, guys, on Better. Shared one on Underdog. Let's see what else we have. You could use Trey Jones. Again, not bad. I'd rather go with Santi. If you don't want the Dylan Larkin play, you could take Trey Jones under on his points. That's fine with me. Once we get kind of below the Dylan Larkin play for 3-pick entries, not the best, though. This Bones Highland play for Dabble is actually very good. You can see here, guys, all I'm focused on is this no vig odds from Pinnacle. So anything that's below minus 122 odds is great for a 3-pick slip. And anything below minus 122 odds like this play on Ehlers is really just good for a 5-pick slip. So not much in terms of prize picks. If we switch this over to FanDuel as the sharp, again, I like using both. Have a little bit more in terms of underdog value, quite a bit more. Naz Reid over PRA. Santi under on his points and rebounds. Under on points. Naz Reid over on points. A lot of Naz stuff here. So unfortunately, you can only pick one Naz Reid play. I'd rather take the over on the PRA. That looks very good. Interesting. PrizePicks, just not the best options. Not very good, at least from this perspective. Dabble, we talked Jaden McDaniels. This is fine for Dabble. So you're looking at his under rebounds and assists under 8.5. But there isn't much out there else for Dabble. Let's go to the Sharp Money tool. Let's check it out. Also, for any of you guys that are interested in Dub Club, every single play is tracked. I track every play on my tracker. Okay, so every single play is tracked. So just to show you, like, I'm all about transparency. And I know I'm pumping Dub Club here, but just to show you guys, like, I just don't give the picks and then forget about it. Every single play is tracked on a spreadsheet all the way up here, right? Every day, every play, and how many units do I give out? And then I have a pivot table that shows how I'm profitable, where I'm not doing well out, and where I am doing well out. And if I open up NHL goals, you can see I'm up 9 units since Dub Club started giving out NHL goals. I don't give out anything else anymore other than NHL goals, right? I gave out some other stuff early on. I don't do it anymore. I just know I can make money on goals. That's what the plays that I give out on. So everything's tracked, right? I know with touts, everyone's like, dude, this guy touts that he's a winner, but he's not. Like, everything's tracked on here. So everything that I share is completely transparent. It's always out there. Every now and then on the recaps, I give a little screenshot of what's up, but every play that I give out. So there's no bullshit. It's legitimate as it gets. If I'm only making a half percentage, then you know I only make a half percentage. If I'm losing, you know I'm losing. So I keep things really a buck when it comes to Dub Club. I'm all about making sure that everything's transparent as possible. So you know what you're getting, you know what you're investing into when you're going into Dub Club. I don't know how many other touts actually show their like results and share it with you openly, but I'm really big on that. Saints fan, what's going on, man? I appreciate that, man. Appreciate that. Patrick, yeah, I mean, at the moment, Patrick, I don't on the tools. We're just going over all the DFS books, so we will be showcasing all the other recreational books. The beginning of the streams, I like to just showcase the DFS books. So Underdog, PrizePicks, Better, Dabble, DraftKings, Pick 6, Parlay Play, right? Here in probably another 5 to 10 minutes, we'll just go into the rec books, which Novig and ProfitX are a part of. So appreciate you asking, but it's coming. It's definitely coming. That's how the streams kind of start off, guys. I'll open up the Fantasy Optimizer here because obviously we haven't seen a lot for DraftKings Pick 6. We'll showcase Fliff as well. Pick 6 today, if I throw up open 3 minimum data points, here it is. And so that's the last thing that I'll kind of touch on, guys, when it comes to Dub Club. I'm not the most profitable, probably, capper out there, but the one thing I can say is I'm 100% transparent, and I have nothing to hide from. My results are my results. So I can definitely look in the camera and say, we are profitable on Dub Club since it started. We might not be as profitable as I want, but we definitely have made money if you've tailed every pick since the beginning of it. Let's see. Video came out on Monday, guys, going over my 13 big tips and tricks, cheat codes to sports betting. Check that video out. Last Friday, I made a video dropping how I think arbitrage betting is broken in 2026 and why it's not nearly as good as it used to be. Check that video out. As always, appreciate all comments, positive or negative. Just give me your honest take on what you feel and what you think of either the strategy or the video. Got some changes coming up in 2026. Not going to say anything. It's nothing crazy, but some things are going to be changing in the works. Just little stuff. It's going to be a lot of fun. All right. So DraftKings 3 pick entries. And so let's see. We only got 2 NBA games today. So this isn't like I'm not super excited on what we're looking at. Julius Randle over on points. It's minus 113 on FanDuel. At this point of the day, I do think that FanDuel's quite sharp when it comes to NBA player props and their odds, so I don't like that. Jalen Tyson, this is okay under on his PRA. It's just like Mitchell under on points. It's decent to Pinnacle. It's to FanDuel. I don't really have a ton. Really, there's not much, guys. If I was going to make a slip, which I don't really like what I'm seeing, I would probably go like this. This would be my 3 picks, Randall over points. But I don't really like it. I'm not going to make a slip here because it's just not all that good. I have DraftKings pick 6 teed up. Is there any? We get a boost today. Let me see. This choice is yours. 50% boost for a 6-pick entry, 30% boost for a 4-pick, which these are good boosts, no doubt. Honestly, I'd probably rather wait till these games are live. So this is kind of what I'd say. I would be fine bypassing the boosts. If you wanted to put together a 6-pick slip, that's cool. I would rather take the 30% winnings boost on 4-pick entries and wait till this is live and try to cook up a 4-pick slip live on pick 6. That would be what I would prefer. For tomorrow, guys, we are streaming at 9 a.m. Eastern and at 6 p.m. Eastern. 2 streams tomorrow because we got a lot to get through tomorrow. For pregame, though, I don't really love these. I don't love any of these. They're just barely okay. Same with DiVincenzo. So if this is where you wanted to do your 4-pick boost, this is what I would take, but I'm really not in love with any of this. Yeah, Irish, that's what I would say. That's definitely what I would say when it comes to this. Make sure I didn't miss anybody else. Ramos says he's up 1,000 units yesterday. Irish says he's up 31 units. Dude, that's incredible. That's incredible. Good stuff to hear that. Great Dom says Edge Zone Matrix did the opposite. One of the worst days to date. Yeah, they did. They had a tough day. Their NHL model, while it's still profitable, it's been having a couple of tough days in a row for the Edge Zone. No doubt about that. For any of my Fliff users, anyone that wants to use Fliff, this is live right now with UIC in Northern Iowa. Don't like this compared to Pinnacle, so I'm don't really care. Don't really care about the Seahawks-Rams play or the Cowboys on the money line. So nothing really of note here. For Dabble, if I was to make a slip and use a 3-pick entry, let's go 3 minimum data points. Okay, so for Dabble, Jaden McDaniels over on his PRA, I like this play. Grab this PRA right here. KCP, same thing, under 15.5. I like this. I like the McDaniels over. I like the KCP under. What else do we got here? Nick Claxton under on his PRA. This isn't bad. I don't mind it, though. This is for Thursday. So if we're looking for games for today, Jalen Wells under on his points and rebounds at 18. I like that. So this would be my 3-pick slip for my Dabble people. Again, the Jalen Wells play, itty-bitty edge, but combining this with the other 2 plays is where I would go. 2 games today. It's better than 1 game yesterday, but again, yeah, just is what it is, for sure. Appreciate that, Jordan. Appreciate that. And that's something, guys, I think coming up in 2026, there's going to be some videos here and there that are going to be more honest takes. I don't want to say they're negative videos, but they're definitely, not as maybe rosy as some of my videos in the past, right? And so I want to make sure, and this I'm just going to take a second because you guys are my loyal, as loyal as it comes. You're my regulars. So as you guys know, or if you don't know, some of the videos that I make are videos like the arbitrage video on Friday. Like I'm telling you that the edge is basically dead, right? But the truth is that it's still profitable. So when I make videos down the road that talks about how, you should start arbitrage betting and day trade the books, it is a strategy that can still make you money, right? It's not as lucrative as it was before. So, just because I'm telling you that it's dead doesn't mean that you can't make money off of it. It's not as good as it once was when I started back in 2021, or if anyone started in even 2022 or 2023. It's just not great. All right, so that's Dabble going on over there. Let's go over the Sharp Money tool, and let's take a look at just one kind of last glance at what we have. Pick 6 is it's just tough. Tough out there in the streets. Definitely tough. All right, for my arbitrage people, speaking of arbitrage, you can still arbitrage. You can still day trade these sports books. I just got limited hardcore on Hard Rock, so Hard Rock's basically done for me. I tried cooking up an SGP today, a traditional parlay, a round robin. They'll still let me bet roughly $10 to $15, but for what I'm looking to get down right now, it's just not really optimal. There's still juice to be squeezed on that account for Hard Rock, but it's not great. So I'm just going to move on from it. So again, Fliff Fanatics, really, you see Fanatics paired up with Sports Zeno and Fliff here. This is where Fanatics is off. Okay, so when you are on the arbitrage tool, and obviously this game with the Bulls and the Cavs starts in an hour and 40 minutes, this is a play that Fanatics is off. You want to go bet Fanatics first on this play because they're linking or they're matching up with multiple different sports books. DraftKings and Sports Zeno. This is a great play. Now, all these plays here, these top ones are nice, right? But you're going to see tomorrow when we showcase this arbitrage tool, there's going to be way more plays going on because there's more games going on. So you're going to be able to make more money with arbitrage, right? We don't want to be betting these types of props at 8 a.m. in the morning if we can help it, right? If your schedule allots it, then I would say focus on these closer to tip-off because you're going to blend in more like a casual sports bettor. That's kind of the reality of it. If you guys are like, dude, this arbitrage betting isn't really worth it for me to try to grind out and make like $3, I would highly advise that you take advantage and look at middle betting. Middle betting is something that I would definitely focus on. So when we're looking over here in middle betting, right, you're seeing opportunities with, let's say, point spread, DraftKings, Crypto.com, Bovada, Caesars, DraftKings, Fanatics. Right, now let's focus on maybe some more main market plays is what I like to maybe go after, right? So main market plays, what do we got? Okay, now you see this odds range here is a little off, right? It's a little far-fetched. So if you want to, you can try to make your odds range something like a minus 150 to like a plus 150, right? Maybe a little bit more in terms of a flip of a coin. Okay, and now you can see that you're winning. You're not going to win as much. So anyone that still has a Thrills account that isn't limited, like this is a play that I would just bet everything that I have in my FanDuel or Thrills account. So if you can bet $500 and just work the numbers so that it's nice and neat, right? Maybe 475 and 385. Or 470, like just work the numbers, guys, to where you can get it like 450 and 365. Okay. And maybe you don't have this kind of money, but this is just to illustrate a point, which is bet as much as you can on this. You're going to make around $7 or $8 in profit, no matter what happens. But if 156 points are scored in this basketball game, you cash the over on FanDuel, you cash the under on Thrills. You made like, what, $825 a profit? So these middle betting plays, guys, if you don't want to grind out $2 arbs, then go over to middle betting. And yeah, I mean, you might be grinding out $1 or $3 in profit, but you at least give yourself the opportunity to make a ton of money. You give yourself a chance. If you hit one of these bad boys, you're really, really happy. Now, obviously, this is optimal with this Texas Southern NC State game. Not all the time is it going to be like this, right? Or it might be like this with like low vig and no vig, which is one side pushes, the other one wins, right? Bovada and Bracco. Right, these are all plays on this Grizzlies T-Wolves game. This is like the mainline market. Dude, like Bracco's taking $2,000. You know Bovada on a main line. This is very close to the main line. They'll let you bet probably $10K. This is NBA mainline point spread or total points. So this isn't like a crazy arb. But if they score 231 points, you get refunded on Bracco, you hit the under on Bovada. This is huge. So this is kind of the next step. If you're like, dude, I'm tired of grinding out $1 on arbitrage, then give yourself an opportunity to make some dough and try to set the odds range within slightly better or worse of a flip of a coin. And if you hit one of these, you're going to be insanely happy. Trust me. So I also don't mind going after negative middle bets where, you know, on this play between Sam Houston State and Oregon State between Bet Rivers and No Vig is only accepting $70 on this play, right? So I put $70 here. Maybe I try to work these numbers so I get a nice, here we go, $80, 65. I'm going to, what, maybe lose like $1, right? If anything else happens other than the total being at 151, I lose $1. So you're really wagering $1 to have a chance of making $145 in profit. don't sleep on middle betting. OGs and DGens have heard me say this before, but if you're new to this, start focusing on middle betting. It's a lot of fun. And literally, guys, if you're taking these negative percentage plays and you're just like sacrificing 25 cents to $1 on every play that you're losing, you only need to hit one out of maybe, I don't know, 100 to make an insane profit, right? To get paid out $160. If you're sacrificing 20 cents to $1 on each play, and one of these, if you hit, you make like $150. Like, think about the math. Pretty good odds in your favor, right? So check out middle betting. It's very, very dope. Ken, what's going on, man? Adrian, you're not the only one. You're not the only one. All right, so let's go back over the Sharp Money tool, and we're going to go and just pull up the regular recreational books. Again, if you guys are finding any of this insightful, do me a huge solid and subscribe to the channel. Click the thumbs up button. Send this to a friend. I'm sure everyone here has some friends that like to bet. If they're tired of losing, they want to make money sports betting. Data-driven sports betting is the way to do it, for sure. And everyone in here basically already knows that. So appreciate you guys. Appreciate it. So we're looking at maybe liquidity. We're looking at 250. So when we're on this liquidity button here, guys, remember, this is the minimum liquidity that we want to see from the Sharp Money tool. Okay, so if I want to see a minimum of $1,000, cool. Now, Pinnacle's limit, I normally set this for about $250 for the minimum. Okay, and then that's really it. Now, what you're going to notice here is Seth Jarvis. Seth Jarvis, we're being recommended to bet this over at Hard Rock. So here's how I evaluate the Seth Jarvis play. Somebody is offering you to bet, let me click this up. Someone is offering you to bet Seth Jarvis under 2.5 shots on goal. They're offering you on no vig at plus 113 odds. They have put up $4,400 on this play. They are accepting action up to $4,400. Meanwhile, back at the ranch, one of the sharpest sports books in the world, Pinnacle's only accepting $250 on this bet. Okay, so let's just think about that. Pinnacle's accepting $250. This person is accepting $4,400. That's a big deal. Next, if they're offering you to bet the under 2.5, that means they want the over 2.5. And if they're allowing you to bet this at plus 113, that means they want this over at minus 113. So if they want it at minus 113, I'm willing to go 5 to 8 cents off of that price. Meaning, I'm more than happy to bet this over at FanDuel at minus 118 odds. Now, just because someone has $4,400 in this market doesn't mean that I go and bet 40 units on this play, or I put 25% of my bankroll on this play. Because guess what? These plays, there's no guarantee here, right? Don't let this person's confidence just build up your ego and you just totally forget about how much you should be appropriately wagering on this play. Keep it between 1 to 3 units. If you're extremely confident, put 3 units on it. If you're lukewarm on it, then put like 1.5 units on it, right? So I'm going to go over to FanDuel here and bet this. You want to bet this over on DraftKings? That's, this person wants it at minus 113. 5 to 8 cents between minus 113 means minus 113 odds to minus 121, or anything below basically minus 121 odds. Go bet this. Bally Bet, obviously you can get a great price on Hard Rock. If you're like me and you're limited, then I'm just going over to FanDuel and I'm betting Seth Jarvis over 2.5 shots on goal. It's kind of how it goes. So, the Sharp Money tool, again, guys, if you see a couple plays like this, you're like, bro, this is insane, and it loses, because we've had plays like this lose it before. It's just one play. We want to make sure that we, stay within our parameters, right? This is just one play. You're not really going to know if the Sharp Money tool is providing you a serious edge until you start to get thousands of bets accumulated off of this tool. That's when you're going to be able to gain an idea of, well, is it good or is it not good, right? So until then, we're kind of in a wait and see mode, and that's why you just want to make sure that you're, just taking it easy. So I'm not only telling you to play this, I put my money where my mouth is. Seth Jarvis, minus 118 odds. I'm just going to go in for roughly about $150. That's for me. That's something comfortable. I would say off my bankroll, this is less than a unit for me. If I wanted to, we can go maybe 200, right? That's just under 1 unit for me. This is a little bit better. And I'm putting $200 on it, okay? And we'll see how it goes. So I'm going to go after this. But this, to me, is a very big signal. It's $4,400. That's a decent amount of dough. So I'm just going to come over here to the tracker and putting this in the Sharp Money tool, guys. When I export my bets to OddsJam, this is going to have a little sharp money symbol in like one of the categories where I'll be able to kind of filter by sharp money and then see how that goes. That's a great one, Ken. I don't mind that at all. Holden, yeah, I mean, it's cooked. I would say, Holden, the one thing that gives me hope, and I don't disagree with you, but the one thing that gives me hope is that this bill is just devastating for any type of lottery, bingo, slot machine, poker, sports betting. The whole gambling industry really suffers from this bill. And so I have to think that this is going to get amended because, big corporate America is not going to want to see this happen, right? Especially if people are getting savvy with it. So I'm still holding out hope that there's some amendment made, for sure. All right, so what is... All right, so we're putting a poll up here. Ken, appreciate that. Love that. Curious to know, what is the bulk of your daily betting action? DFS, plus EV, arbitrage, or just DGen parlays? Would love to hear. Would love to hear that. All right, let's kind of refresh this. Let's get back into ripping through some more plays. Cavs, -5.5. Poly market. Let's evaluate this, guys, right? The poly markets, the Kalshis, the 4CXs, the Novigs, the Profit X, they've really kind of flipped the script. And so you need to really pay attention with how we kind of view this play. First and foremost, seeing that someone has put up $7,700 on Profit X doesn't really impress me. Pinnacle's taking $20,000 on this market. This isn't even half of what Pinnacle is taking. Okay. Now, somebody wants this at basically -101. They want the Cavs at -5.5 at -101 odds, which is 7 cents off to Pinnacle. That's okay. It's good to bet online. It's not very good to bookmaker, and it's not great to Pinnacle either. So this is a play. While it's impressive that it's this much money, I don't really care, right? If it was like $20,000, or if it was like $30,000 or $40,000, I'm a little bit more interested. So typically these types of plays, I just ignore. That's just me. That's the way how I kind of evaluate it. Football today, Delaware, money line. Pinnacle's taking $7,500. Two people want this at a combined $6,500. Now, you can get this at +130 on Delaware. Just going out there and letting you know on Bovada, this is an insanely plus EV play to bookmaker, and it's EV to Pinnacle. So this isn't really so much a sharp money play. This is that, you can get Delaware money line at +130 and bookmakers at -119. Like, this is an ARB to bookmaker. Now, if this is not stale, this isn't a stale line. This is an ARB to Pinnacle. This is an ARB to a lot of books. So it's just a plus EV play, right? Little different story if you're going over to Poly Market. We talked about Seth Jarvis. Mercyhurst and Syracuse. Over 130.5. Somebody wants this at -118, -115. I lean more bookmaker guys when it comes to college basketball. They typically take more money on their lines compared to Pinnacle. Pinnacle's only taking $250. This is where I like to go and take a look at bookmaker just to see what their limits are and see what we have going on. But Syracuse is a big school. Mercyhurst isn't. No offense to any Mercyhurst alumni that are currently in the chat. So let's look at this. Again, if you guys want to know how I'm actually figuring out what the limits are on bookmakers, I'm just logging in on my other monitor and just pulling up the game and then taking a look. So this is the, over 130.5. Bookmaker is taking $295. So this is one of those plays. Pinnacle's taking $250. Bookmaker's taking $295. So this is like extremely low liquidity. So there could be something to be said for the fact that somebody wants this at minus 115 and minus 118 odds. This is still a little low for me. It looks really good in terms of Pinnacle's limit. Like, this is a high multiplier. So maybe someone knows something about this. So you can take this at your own risk or just kind of stay away from it, right? So let's go through some plays that maybe I'm like really impressed on, like Aldama. Not really. And this is just to try to give you guys some insight into like what I'm thinking about. So like Jackson Blake, Pinnacle's taking $250. This is like an 8 or 9x multiplier to Pinnacle. Somebody wants this at minus 196 odds for $2,500. This is a juicy over. These are the type of bets that I hate betting because if it doesn't hit, I get really pissed off. I hate betting, really short odds types of plays where we're putting up a lot to get paid out a little. But if you subscribe to the fact that someone put up $2,500 on Profit X, you can get this at MGM or Hard Rock at a very good price. This bettor wants it at minus 196. So again, minus 201 to minus 203. I'm willing to go. So Ballybet, I like that. FanDuel, it's fine. DraftKings at minus 198. This is totally cool with me. I don't mind it. It's juicy. I'll put something up on DraftKings right now. Jackson Blake, young kid. I'm going to log in over here on DraftKings and we'll see how that goes, right? I'll probably put up like 2 to 250 just to try to make maybe 100, a little over $100 in profit. Appreciate that, Saints fan. Hopefully it's been working out for you. And the whole idea here, guys, is totally understand if you want to disagree with some of the things I say. It's just really to hopefully help provide you some type of framework or structure with how you use these tools, right? The hardest part with the positive EV tool is that there's so many plays that are being recommended to you. So many. Where the hell's Carolina? Is this for if this isn't for today, never mind. If this Carolina play is not for today, it is. Where the hell's the Nashville game at? Oh, I'm already on it. Dude. Sorry about that, guys. Holy shit, kid. Get it together, Billy. You can tell I'm out to lunch. Never came back. Jackson Blake. That's minus 210. Never bet. By the way, guys, for those of you that don't know, never come down to the shots on goal and you normally take the 2+. Always a worse price. Scroll down and take the over-under. The over-under is always the actual price. So it's minus 198. It's a big deal, though, right? All right, 250 over there on Mr. Blake. So DraftKings. There it is. Again, very juicy play to get this. But never take the 2+ or 3+ on any, not just DraftKings, typically most sports books. Terrible. Should have got this maybe over on Props Builder for minus 196 odds. All right, speaking of hockey, let's pull up the NHL anytime goal scores. And we got 2 results for Circa Peeps. Gabriel Velarde. This is really only for Circa. Don't bet this anywhere else. I repeat, do not bet this on any other sports book unless you have access to Circa. Or if you have a sports book that's giving you like a profit boost, okay. But this is a Circa only play. He plays for the Jets of Winnipeg, plus 230 odds. I don't know why my bet size is $2 because my bankroll is much higher than that. OddsJam, this happened to me earlier today as well. I'm going to open this up into another window here, guys, and just check this out. Why is this? Let's see if that changes things. There we go. Changes that. So Velarde. For Pavel, too low for me to play. It's too low of an edge. Like if you're dying to get some NHL goal scorers out there tonight, guys, you could. I wouldn't force this. So the only play I really actually like is Gabe Velarde. So there you go. A-Rink, no. Good question. No. Making cheat sheets, no. That's what my coaching program is designed for. Working with me one-on-one. That's where the cheat sheets are. So I do think that there's, working with me one-on-one and me providing you step-by-step by sports book, by sport, by market, where you should attack, what should you attack, based on what strategy, based on your bankroll. All of that is entailed in my coaching program. So, it's not a bad idea to create a bunch of cheat sheets to provide to you guys. But I think that there's some monetary value that can be gained from that. And I think I provide enough free information. So that's not really something that I'm looking to provide, but I appreciate you asking that. So it's definitely a good point to bring up. All right, so that's where we're at on the plus EV tool for NHL anytime goal scorers. We'll come back a little bit later to take a look at that. Let's see what else we got going on. Let's look at some NBA props. We'll start off with FanDuel first. Yeah, there we go, Irish. There we go. Yeah, I mean, Irish, obviously feel free to take it beyond those parameters, right? If you want to. It's kind of the same thing with NHL or with NFL anytime touchdown scores. I like to stay within a range I'm very confident in, but you can obviously expand that. And as long and you do, I mean, you know that you might run into a little bit more variance, but it's still profitable. As long as you can deal with that variance, then yeah, it's definitely a sound strategy to utilize. All right, so we're looking at FanDuel here at the moment. And player rebounds, again, you could do this with Giddy on a couple different places. We're using FanDuel. I'll use Pinnacle. I'll use FanDuel, guys. Hell, I'll use Bookmaker. It doesn't really matter what sharp book that you want to use because what I'm going off of is line movement. Made a video last week on OddsJam's channel talking about line movement on player props and breaking down specifically what I look for and literally what I bet. So let me find, let's see, a book that everyone has. Like on Donovan Mitchell, again, this is not something I'm going to really deep dive on. There's $25 out here on his under. Just go bet that. There's not enough liquidity. Same thing here with Kobe White on his rebounds. Not really enough money that I'm nervous that there might be a professional bettor that's trying to dangle and, try to hook you guys in and take your money. Don't really get too nervous about that. Donovan Mitchell on his points and rebounds. This is a market. Another reason why I use FanDuel. Pinnacle doesn't offer points and rebounds, that market. Pinnacle doesn't offer rebounds and assists on that market or points and assists. So I use FanDuel as my sharp, and I'm going after movements. For anyone that's a dub club person, and you're like, man, he's betting points and assists, that's because I'm looking at FanDuel. And I'm looking at FanDuel, and I'm really taking I have a lot of trust in what they're offering. So on this under, when I click into FanDuel's box, right here, you can see they moved a little bit. Minus 104 to minus 111, that's a 7-cent movement, which is decent. But also, this is just a low hold. When the over is at 115 and the under is at 115 and the plus and minus sign, who cares? These are the same two numbers. It's a 0% low hold. It's always a good play to take when you find low holds. Arbitrage plays provide me more confidence to one side, just bet one side. Here, this is a low hold that I'm totally still in on. That's the kind of the next best option that you can find, right? DiVincenzo. This just moved from plus 120 to plus 115. This is not an ARB or a low hold to any of the books, but is over on threes. Okay. Fanatics is here. Pinnacle moved. FanDuel moved. They all moved a lot. And as you guys can see, this is why I use line movement on everything. This was an hour ago. FanDuel was at plus 158. They're now at minus 104. And what we talk about in that video on OddsJam is that because the liquidity is so low on these player props, this is why you see insane movement like this. You'll see this all the time with player props. You won't really see this on a money line or a spread unless there's massive news. Like, let's say we find out that half the Steelers got food poisoning and now they're not playing against the Lions this weekend. That's when you'll see a movement like this. Otherwise, you won't see that. So I'm very cool with betting DiVincenzo. Grab the over 3.5. No problem, A-Rink. I appreciate you asking, man. There's kind of a fine line with all of this where I try to make sure I provide as much as free information that I can. But, there also is, guys, certain topics like P2s. A lot of people have asked me, hey, man, how do I set up P2s? What devices? What accounts? And I'm thinking to myself, like, do you know how much money you can make on brand new P2 accounts? Like, some information I'm just not willing to give away for free because, I don't know, I wouldn't mind getting a little slice of the pie. Like, if you can make thousands of dollars off P2s, that's probably something I'm not going to tell you how to set up absolutely for free. Now, you can try to figure it out on your own, right? Take a leap of faith. But if you want to know the step-by-step on how to, it's not something I'm just going to tell you for free. It's definitely not going to be something I'm going to tell you on a recorded YouTube video that the public can find out about. That's something I've kind of learned through the years. So there's certain things that I'm definitely willing to tell you how to do for free and try to help out. And there's other things that are more high-value tickets that I think shouldn't be shared, in my opinion, for free. You might be able to find that with some other people that can provide you that information. By all means, take advantage of it. Let's take a look at some Pinnacle player props as well to see what we have. Rudy Gobert as a double-double. This is kind of the first thing that I looked at. This is a low hold to Pinnacle, so I love this. Again, Pinnacle dropped a lot. I don't mind going after this on DraftKings. Again, these kind of markets, guys, player double-doubles, player triple-doubles, you can normally bet a lot more money down. No Anthony Edwards tonight. No Ant. He's out. So this is going to be under the player combos. And looking for double-doubles, I love this. I'm going to go $250 on this. Bingo. All right, so we're in for $250. You can't really see because my head's in the way. Might be too hard to see, but $250 on Rudy Gobert to get a double-double. We're in. We're in on that. I like that. That's a big one, dude. Low hold to penny all day long. All day long. Yeah, Adrian, Ant-Man's out, so take the over on Gobert. We know he'll get the rebounds. It's just, can he get some points? And they're going to need somebody else to score some points. For sure. Let's kind of come back up to this. Vince Williams Jr. under on his assists. I will bet into FanDuel, guys. I bet into FanDuel all the time. It just depends on movement. And you see how massive of movement this is on FanDuel? So I would look to maybe bet his over 6.5. You can see that FanDuel's moved incredibly. Now, they just went from -120 to -113. This is bouncing all over the place. What I would say here is two things. Number one, when you see massive movement like FanDuel like this, look to bet the other side. Or number two, just don't bet it at all and go find something else. So, again, you could bet this over at Pinnacle. Probably, and I could go bet this on Bet Openly right now. Wow, that's an ARB to FanDuel on this 118 right here. Not bad if you wanted to go over on Props Builder plus 113 odds. This is something that I definitely really prescribe to, the fact that it moves so much, guys. I'm going to go over to Props Builder and bet this just because, I have a lot of options with Props Builder. And I'm just logging into my bookie right now. For those of you that are kind of disheartened about, my bookie, BUSR, XBet not being available on OddsJam, all those books still offer Props Builder. So you can still work through, your balance over there by taking advantage of Props Builder. And so this is one of those that literally on the stream, we had a shitload of movement in one way. And this is on his assists. And so we can go grab this over here on his over 6.5. Kind of the opposite side. The best odds are at Bet Openly. I'm going to leave that for you guys if you want it. You can see the Pinnacle. Let's see if they moved at all. Not yet. Not yet. But we're going to go in over here on my bookie and grab the over 7.5 assists for the Grizzlies on Vince. And they already moved to plus 106, which sucks. Damn. All right. Then I'm going over to Bet Openly. Hopefully you guys don't have it yet, but we'll grab that. Okay, so there's the Vince Williams play. Let's refresh this. Let's come back. Jaden McDaniels on the score. If anyone's out there that has access to this, very big discrepancy here between FanDuel and Pinnacle. So all I'm looking for is just movement, right? There you go, Anton. Nice to hear that, man. Congrats. Nice to hear that it worked out well. Round robins and parlays, yeah, it worked out really well. No problem, man. Glad that you're here at the party. So a lot of movement by Pinnacle in the last 30 minutes. They were at plus 107. They're now at minus 115. Again, and something else that I don't mind ever betting into FanDuel is the fact that FanDuel and the score have a very similar price here. Like, this is telling me that I would like to bet this at FanDuel. So we're looking at Jaden McDaniels under on his points. I know, Ant's out, okay? And I'm not making fun of the person yesterday. I'm just stating the fact. Sports betting's unpredictable, guys. I went ahead and bet Harrison Barnes under 1.5 player-made threes. It was supposedly a bad play because of how often the Knicks allow catch and shoot. Harrison Barnes didn't hit a single three-pointer. Sports betting's unpredictable. I don't know what's going on here at Pinnacle now. They just kind of froze, which definitely makes me pause a little bit. So we're just going to probably wait to see if Pinnacle comes back with this. Damn, it got even better over on DraftKings and Onyx for Rudy. I'm in on that. Go bet the over on his double-double. Kevin Herter over on his player-made threes. This seems to be a Fanatics play only. Nobody else. FanDuel's offering the next best price. Plus 102 would still be decent, right? Come into the calculator. If you guys want, it's still a 5% edge. If you guys want to try OddsJam 1 week for free and save 35% off your first month, just use code Billy35. Check it out, guys. It's my best friend out here, OddsJam. A lot of movement from Pinnacle and a lot of movement in a short amount of time. That's very good. So I'm willing to go over to FanDuel and bet Herter over on his threes. Yeah, Skunky, there you go. It was like Fox under 5.5 assists. Dude had 6 in the last 2 minutes last night. Again, we have one that works for us and one that works against us. So it's just one of those things that it happens all the time. So 102 odds. Again, I'm not looking to bet 325. I'm looking to bet possibly up to 325 when it comes to player props. Okay. Now I got some limits over here on FanDuel. What's the max wager? 306, which is actually very high. I was going to go 250. All right, there we go. Over on his threes. Okay. So it's not so much to point out the fact of like, if plays are good or bad, right? There's definitely some good bets lose and bad bets win all the time. But just sports betting is so unpredictable. It happens all the time, guys. So give in to the unpredictability. Jump on the roller coaster and understand that you're in for a ride. Trust me, it'll be all right. Giddy, if you're paying attention to the math and the data and price sensitivity, it's going to be really good for you. Now, this isn't quite an arb to Pinnacle, but I'm curious to see Giddy on his rebounds. This is an alt line. So what I don't like to see is that FanDuel, the book that I'm being recommended to bet, is moving in this direction. I don't like that. So typically, I just stay away from it. I'm just not going to play it. Right? Jalen, same thing, right? Under on his threes. FanDuel's up here. Pinnacle is moving a bit. They kind of bounced back. They were at plus 115 3 minutes ago. They're now at plus 111. Nothing too crazy. But again, this looks to be very good if you want to grab Jalen Wells under on his threes. Now, I just bet Rudy over on a double-double. If you really want to have a ton of risk, you could bet his over on his PRA. The safer option, in my opinion, would be just to bet possibly just for him to get a double-double, right? Instead of taking his over on his PRA. But PRA can sometimes help if he gets a few assists. It's not like Rudy Gobert is dishing out 6 assists tonight. So just different things to think about. All right, what else do we got here? A lot of things. So this is just all based off of line movement. And the reason, guys, that I still have Hard Rock and Fanatics pulled up is because I'm really hoping to see other sports books that maybe have very similar pricing to Fanatics. I know I can't bet this on Fanatics, but I'm just really hoping that, there's someone out there that maybe has a plus 105 because I would love to bet that. Yeah, well, there we go. So it was at plus 119. Then it moved up to plus 125. Now it's plus 108. Looks like we got some value there on Gobert, right? So at first, it didn't look like we lost CLV. And now all of a sudden, we definitely secured CLV because it looks really good. And so to be able to get that at plus 119, we just definitely secured something. No doubt, right? So it was an ARB to Pinnacle when we got it at plus 119. So I love that. Setting yourself up with ARBs, guys, to Pinnacle or to FanDuel is always going to be a good recipe for success. Man, we've just been flying by. So let me check the poll out really quick. We asked earlier in the stream, what is the bulk of your daily betting activity? 58% said plus EV. 26% said DFS. 9% said ARB. And 7% said DGens. 43 votes. That's a good sample size, guys. Appreciate all of you that are asking. And for those of you out there that are in the ARBs or the DFS space, that's why the bulk of these streams are spent talking about plus EV. In my opinion, it's the hardest strategy to nail down consistent results. If you're not getting consistent results arbitrage betting, then we need to obviously revisit your process, because it should be something you should make money on consistently. DFS, it's good to hear that. DGen parlays, appreciate those that still like to play DGen parlays. Hey man, I like to play them too from time to time. So nothing wrong with that. Speaking of some DFS, we'll kind of go back over here really quickly to see if we have anything else that's popping up. We'll kind of race through a couple of books. In my opinion on Dabble, not really. Booker, this is for tomorrow, so not really. PrizePicks. And kind of one last thing, I mentioned this in the previous couple streams, guys, to give you kind of set up the rest of this weekend. There's 2 streams tomorrow. There is no streams on Friday, as I'm traveling all day Friday. This weekend is the weekend I'm spending Christmas with my family. So hopefully I don't have to deal with too much crazy travel, but I am flying to Maryland Friday, early Friday morning. Saturday, there will be a stream, normal regular time, 11 a.m. Eastern. Sunday, it just depends. My nephew's got a church thing. He's like 3.5. I get to watch him for his first time in the church Christmas play. We'll see. Hopefully we'll have an 11 a.m. stream. If not, I come back to Arizona. I'll be back Sunday night. So Monday, 2 streams Monday. Basically next week, there'll be streams all throughout the week. Christmas Day and Christmas Eve, there will just be 1 stream on Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. Then everything else should be 2 streams, right? The only time, guys, where we don't have 2 streams is kind of like yesterday and today, where there's only 1 or 2 NBA games, because the NBA really dominates our betting action. So if there isn't a lot going on for the NBA, then there's normally not too many streams. Really excited, though, for this weekend with the college football first round of the playoffs. It should be really, really good stuff. Don't like much what I see over there on PrizePicks, so we're going to move on. Underdog, kind of the same stuff. Don't love it. So we're going to keep it fairly consistent here, guys. Still have videos that are going to be coming out for the rest of this week, or for next week, I should say. Kind of hit you guys with a back-to-back in terms of a video on Friday and a video on Monday. But still going to try to make sure that we get in our bets and get in our streams. I don't like to take too many days off. Yeah, no problem about that, Ken. No problem about that. And even though I know for someone like Ken, for you, again, guys, you don't have, if you're like Ken, you don't have to have OddsJam. You can utilize any of these other softwares that are available. Maybe it fits your budget more. Maybe, you're not banned. Maybe it's just something that you prefer. All of these softwares provide the same damn stuff. RIP OddsView, by the way, for anyone that used OddsView. I tried it out. RIP OddsView, they're no longer with us. But if it's Pick the Odds, if it's Bookie Beats, if it's Unabated, if it's A-Train Station, all of these provide the same type of strategies so that you can copy and paste everything that you're learning here and just apply it to whatever software that you're using. That's really how it all is. That's the beautiful thing here. The fundamentals don't change even if you're using a different software. Trust me. I still love you if you're using another software. It's been a really good run, though, with OddsJam. And you'll never hear me say anything bad about them because they've just treated me like gold ever since I started making content on the side for them back in 2023. So it's been a good run with them, and we'll see how long it lasts. Dabble, we already looked at Dabble. Let's go over, I'm bopping around. Let's look at Owner's Box really quick. Anyone that's looking for Owner's Box, and I'll also show Sleeper. We'll look at Sleeper really quick as well. Owner's Box, better options, I guess. I don't like the FanDuel odds on Mitchell here, guys. They're not bad to Pinnacle, but they're not very good to FanDuel. And I do think, because we're getting so close to tip, that FanDuel's pretty sharp. So I don't really care for that. And then where's Sleeper at? There it is. Sleeper, not all that good. Yeah, not that I was expecting it to be great, but it's not very good. And that's where we're gonna kind of wrap it up. Let's go back to the EV tool to take a look at the NHL anytime goal scores once more, just to see if there's anything out there that's worthy. Still 2 results, same 2 cast of characters, so nothing's really changed there, guys. Otherwise, tomorrow morning, 9 a.m. Eastern, we're going to do this again. We have a ton of NBA games, 7, which is way more than today. We have an NFL Thursday night football game. College football bowl season rolls on. College basketball will get a little bit better. So definitely looking forward to it. No doubt about that, Ken. No doubt about that. It's definitely it's definitely kind of moved on since it used to be back in the day. Felt like it was maybe available at an affordable price point for a lot more people. And it's a little tougher now. It's definitely in that Lamborghini price point range for softwares. Appreciate all the OGs and DGens. Chat was great. Poll was great, guys. Everything was fantastic. Questions that if you forget to ask me now, DM me or email me. I respond to everybody. OGs, DGens, love yins. And otherwise, guys, have an awesome Wednesday night, and I'll talk to you guys first thing in the morning. Take care.